Hello to our 13 subscribers. I hope you're having a productive day. I want you to ask yourself this. What can you do to make this world a slightly better place? I have the answer for you right here. But before I give you the answer, I need to introduce to you Immanuel Kant. He was a Prussian philosopher active in Königsberg during the 18th century. He was one of the most eminent thinkers during the Enlightenment, and he's most famous for his thoughts and theories regarding ethics, morals, and law, among many other things. He invented the only moral obligation in which you need to follow, the Categorical Imperative. It's a theory that is formulated as this. Act only according to the maxim whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. Okay, that's a mouthful. Let's break this down to something more understandable. You should only act in a way that your actions can become a universal law. Could everyone act and behave the same way as you? Is the question you want to ask yourself throughout your life. Apply this way of thinking before every decision in life, big or small, to your habits and onto your behaviors. If you come to the conclusion that everyone cannot do what you're doing or want to do, then abstain from it. It's not morally justifiable. You're probably already familiar with the concept. The so-called golden rule in Christianity is, do unto others as you would have done unto them. In other words, treat others the way you want to be treated yourself. Quite similar to the categorical imperative, as you might notice. This golden rule is in one way or another repeated throughout the world's religions. In Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, the list goes on. Before I continue, if you want to become the best man and the best version of yourself that you can be, subscribe to our channel right now. This also helps us continue creating great content. Thanks. Alright, let's get back to it. You are a human. That makes you rational. You are able to reason. As far as we are currently aware, us humans is the only life being in this world that of which is capable of reasoning. This gives me and you and us as a species tremendous power that we with no doubt has taken advantage of in both the conquest of other people and especially in the conquest of our planet. Something we have been undeniably successful at. But with this power comes something that we haven't been nearly as successful at. Responsibility. The world is a cruel place. It's populated by people who are greedy, selfish, and dishonest. Our planet, our environment, animals, and us humans are suffering and have suffered so much more throughout history than necessary as a result of some people's grotesque immorality, but also as a consequence of our everyday, more mundane immorality that we're all guilty of due to our imperfection as a species. Despite our incredible ability to rationalize, it's our burden to carry as humans since our ancestors got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, if we want to take a Christian take on it. But this capacity of rationalization is also a tool in which we can use in order to become better human beings. If we go back to the categorical imperative, I'm gonna give you some concrete examples of the theory in practice. Example 1. Lying. You're considering telling your friend you're feeling sick and cannot meet him, although in reality you forgot about your meetup and you've already left town for something else. It's an unimportant white lie, a banality, you tell yourself. You feel it doesn't matter in the larger scheme of things, and you don't want to hurt your friend or come across as a bad person. However, if everyone lied, then no one could trust anyone. Truth would become meaningless. Cooperation between people would collapse and chaos would ensue. Civilization would end. You want none of this as a rational human being. Therefore, you will have to bite the bullet and tell your friend the truth, and to never lie again. Hopefully this will also change your behavior in a way that minimizes your lying, which in and of itself is a desirable goal. Example 2. You're impatient and usually stressed. When you drive your car, you like to go fast from one place to another. Speeding is the norm for you, rather than the exception. But you don't mind it. You're a good driver and nothing has ever happened before. And so might definitely be the case. But could everyone really go past the speed limit whenever they drive? The answer is no. The limits are there for a reason, and are created by people who know their shit. Accidents, deaths, and destruction would be so much more common if everyone drove like you. So if everyone cannot drive like you're driving, then neither can you. It can simply not be made into a universal law. Example 3. You love your meat. You're a meat eater. You eat pork, lamb, or beef for almost every single meal. Again, question yourself, could everyone else in the world eat meat for every meal? Is such a large consumption possible for everyone? No is the answer. An enormous amount of land, Most likely more than there is simply available would be required to grow enough crops in order to feed all the livestocks. All the greenhouse gases that would be produced would be fatal and excel global warming at an unprecedented rate. So it's time to reason whether you ought to cut down on your consumption of meat or cut it out entirely. By applying the categorical imperative on your way of thinking and way of life, you become the exemplary man. The man people can follow and trust to take the right decisions, as you simply do the right thing because it is right, as Kant himself put it. This is the highest duty of them all, to do the right thing because it is right. Now, ideals and reality work seldom hand in hand. They usually collide with great force, and reality usually gets the upper hand. Your circumstances, your culture, your society, and your pure laziness are great obstacles and excuses for you to not fully apply the categorical imperative from your mindset onto reality. Giving up your speeding is not easy, as you like to sleep for as long as possible in the morning, or giving up white lies or red meat. It can frankly be rather unsettling, having to question the morality of some things and habits that are so seemingly innocent and natural to your way of life. I don't believe the categorical imperative can be fully lived by. The world is simply too inconvenient and imperfect in order for that to be a reality. Don't tell the truth if you're going to get yourself or someone else killed, for example. That's just stupid. But the imperative is, however, a great rule of thumb that you should follow whenever possible, and to always consider to act upon if possible before making a decision. This will allow you to do your part in making yourself a better person, and thus making the world a slightly better place for us all to live in. If everyone had the great mindset you now have, the world would undoubtedly be a better place to live in. And we all have to take that burden of responsibility and do our part. And since you're a man, you will accept this responsibility, because that is what makes you a man. It's in responsibility that most people find the meaning that sustains them through life. It's not in happiness, it's not in pleasure, as Jordan Peterson so brilliantly phrased it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment your own thoughts and continue watching these videos. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at @theselfmadeinsta, where you get even more reminders and daily motivators to become the best man that you can be. See you in the next one.